Played at the top of the show, Donald Trump thought promising everyone the First Amendment would be protected, in his words, restored, was so important. It is near the beginning of his inaugural address from earlier this year. He started his second term as president pledging to champion the free speech rights of all Americans, all Americans. It wasn't just him. It was something that some people voted for him because of. It's something conservatives once claimed was fundamental to a politician they would support and to their political beliefs. Watch.
There is a new sheriff in town, and under Donald Trump's leadership, we may disagree with your views, but we will fight to defend your right to offer it in the public square.
In America, we have the right of free speech. We have the right to offend, to provoke, to annoy, and to stand up for what we believe in, even if you find it controversial.
This is just a classic left-wing hypocrisy. They want to push their ideological agenda, and they want to silence and punish conservatives. It's unbelievable, and we just have to stand up and say no.
I just believe in freedom. Why are liberals so afraid of freedom and freedom of speech? I don't get outraged. You can turn off the TV, turn off a radio dial, turn off a podcast, walk out of a commencement.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Joining our conversation, staff writer for The Atlantic, Anne Applebaum, has joined us. And we're lucky that she's here in person today. She's going to be at the Atlantic Festival, which begins today and includes conversations with a remarkable rundown of guests, including Anne, and politicians and entertainers and business leaders. Oliver and Michael stayed with us. We're so grateful for that. And I just invoke something that you have said to me before that startled me when you said it, but it's stayed with me. And I think your publishers made the same point. The people point to Hungary, but we're moving a lot quicker than Orban ever did.
Oh, no, Orban took many, many years to buy up newspapers, to get his friends to take over television stations. You know, it was a very long, careful process. He didn't want to scare people. He didn't want to create a backlash. What's happening here right now actually looks, I'm not the only one who's been saying it. Garry Kasparov said it yesterday. It looks a lot more like what Vladimir Putin did when he took power in Russia. And one of the first things he did was he took over a television station that was critical to him. And as he was doing that, one of the things he insisted on was that they eliminate a comedy show that he didn't like. It was a puppet show. It was called Kukli, and the various political figures in Russia were parodied in different ways as puppets, and he didn't like the Putin puppet. And he sent a letter to the producer of the show, told them to take it off the air. I think they played around with it for a little while, and they put a Putin thing with a instead of Putin, they put a cloud or a sort of, and then they, and then it just disappeared altogether. So there's a long tradition of authoritarian leaders not liking to be mocked and not getting the joke.
What's amazing and what makes it undeniable that this is what's happening is that it's not about speech. It's not about free speech for anyone other than the folks who agree with them. And I want to show you something that Brian Kilmeade, a host over on Fox and Friends, said last week.
Either you take the resources that we're going to give you, or you decide that you're going to be locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them.
They were talking about homeless people. There are millions of homeless people in America. And his quote was, involuntary lethal injection or something, just kill them. He apologized. He said, we were discussing the murder of Irana Zaritska in Charlotte, North Carolina, how to stop these kinds of attacks by homeless, mentally ill assailants. He says, I apologize for that callous remark. He's still on the air. So speech calling for the murder of millions of people is about as callous and over the line as it gets. It came with an apology. Jimmy Kimmel also sought to contextualize and wanted to go on the air and apologize. There's no denying that freedoms only apply to one class of Americans, and they are Trump supporters.
No, there's a lot of hypocrisy in this administration, and it actually goes back. I think you played earlier in the show. You played the clip of Trump saying there had been Biden government censorship, and now he's going to reverse it. There was no Biden government censorship. I mean, this was an entirely fake narrative. It emerged from if you remember the whole Twitter files story. There was a fake allegation that the Biden administration had censored 22 million tweets, and this was a misreading of an academic report that was put out by Stanford that said that an academic group had looked at 22 million tweets, and this became a thing that was repeated over and over and over again. And actually, one of the things I've been thinking about is how rarely that was challenged. In other words, while they were creating this fake narrative about how they were being censored and they were creating this sense of resentment and anger, it was very rarely, exposed that this feeling of resentment and anger was almost entirely invented.
Well, it was rarely pushed back, and then I think it also, I remember that, and it also highlighted the dominance over sort of narrative control, that the dissemination of the disinformation was so far and wide that even the people that were trying to fact check it was such a feeble attempt compared to how far and wide it had spread.
Yeah, and it was a complicated story. You had to go back to the reporting. You had to explain why they were wrong and how it was, and how the story was badly told, and that takes a long time, and people just moved on quickly. And meanwhile, the MAGA group were focused on that, getting ready for their revenge, preparing to have the FCC be the kind of tool that it is, and thinking about how they were going to take over the media.